family, let me welcome you to the month of Marvelous March. Marvelous indeed, because we are looking at uncovering the curriculum. Last week, I briefly looked at what is meant when we say we are uncovering the curriculum. And so this week, we want to dig a little bit deeper, and we are going to be looking at uncovering versus covering the curriculum. What is the difference that exists? And so we want to look at what is a curriculum. What is the curriculum? Of course, there are many different definitions or many different ways in which we can define what a curriculum is. For example, it could be defined as the subject matter taught to students. It could be a course of study, systematic arrangement of courses. It could also be planned educational experiences offered by a school, as well as experiences students have under the guidance of a school. And finally, process teachers go through in selecting and organizing learning experiences for their students. Whichever way we put it, whichever way we define it, these are the different ways in which we define the word curriculum. Now, there are different types of curriculum, and we have what is called we're just looking at maybe 4 or 5 in this setting. We have the explicit curriculum, and this is where all the subjects will be taught and the knowledge and skills that the school expects successful students to acquire. So this is blatant, it is written, it is out there, and this is what the students will get when teachers go to the class to teach them. And then we have the implicit curriculum, and this would now be the lessons that arise from the culture of the school and the behaviors, attitudes and expectations that characterizes the culture. And then we have what is referred to as the null curriculum, and this is the option students are not afforded, the concepts and skills that are not a part of the intellectual repertoire. So it doesn't come with it, but then they learn from it. And then we have extracurricular activities or experiences, and this is where we supplement the academic part of the students' work, so of what they do at school rather. So for example, clubs, houses, and others. There's also the hidden curriculum, to which of course it is also a part of the implicit curriculum. This is what students get from interacting with teachers, interacting with the environment. These are the characteristics, these are the attitude and the habits that they will develop. So we want to look at what is the difference between cover and uncover. Of course, you're seeing uncover is to remove the cover of an object, right? And then cover is to place something over or upon as to conceal or protect. And so this is very interesting, educators, because we now need to fine tune our minds to what is it that we do. Do we uncover by removing the cover of the object? Do we remove all the different definitions, different things that are there within the curriculum? Or do we cover it by throwing something over it, and as such the students will not be able to see it? And this is getting just a little bit more exciting. So what is the difference? It is clear, and now I want you in your mind to process what is it that you do, or what is it that you would want to do when you enter your classroom. Do you want to cover or uncover the curriculum? Let's now look at what is meant by uncovering the curriculum. So uncovering allows for the following. One, students will explore, they will question, they will dig deeper into overarching ideas and concepts and apply these skills learned in real world contextual situations. So you're allowing them to go a little bit deeper, to question what is going on, to look at the overarching concepts, to apply the skills that they are learning in class to real world contextualized situations. And then also, when uncovering the curriculum, it takes the learner on a journey from absolute knowledge, where the student plays a passive role, accepting knowledge as either wrong or right, and taking all the cues from the teacher, right? That's uncovering, to Contextual knowledge, where the learner's knowledge is built upon evidence in context, and the student's role is to think through problems and integrate, apply knowledge at a formal operational level. All right, and so right there, I guess you'll have understood on uncovering the curriculum. So it's no longer about the student being passive, just sitting and taking everything from the teacher, just saying, okay, it's either right or wrong, and there's no need to question. But when you uncover, you are allowing the learner's knowledge to be built upon evidence in context, using their experiences to teach them, allowing them to think through the problems and integrate or apply knowledge so that they're able to function. Also, in uncovering the curriculum, we look at uncovering content within the curriculum, and as a result, it asks students the following: one, to assume no knowledge is sure knowledge, to embrace questioning, testing of ideas, reasoning, forming judgments, and interpretation. And educators, I just want to encourage you that when you go into your classrooms, do not make the students passive learners. There are some teachers who just are just excited about the students just sitting and looking at them and not talking, and they're afraid to get up, they're afraid to talk to their classmates, they only want to talk to the teacher. That's passive learning, and that does not allow the learners to dig deep. It does not uncover the curriculum in any way, shape or form. So you want to go into the classroom, step out of the status quo, develop interesting lessons, develop interesting activities, allow the learners to be able to pull on the hands-on, embrace questioning, going deeper, challenging what is it that you are putting forward to them, doing their research and coming back. You want to be able to do that. So that is what entails in uncovering the curriculum. On your screen, you should now be seeing covering the curriculum. And this is where teachers, for example, when they plan their lessons, they say, okay, when I go to class on Monday, I'm going to teach objectives 1 and 2 or lesson 2.3. Tuesday, I'm going to do this one. Wednesday, I'm going to do this one. And then after you're through, you are going to look at now a brief review, test, and move on. That's what covering is about. So you're throwing things over what is there. You're not digging deep. You're just following slavishly what's going on. All right, or what you have planned. There is no room for you to stop, to pause, to do something different. Covering the content within the curriculum does not ensure mastery. Let me say that again as you read with me. Covering the content within the curriculum does not ensure mastery, because of course it is passive learning. It is not allowing the students to dig deep. If you should give them something that is contextualized, that they will have to now link to the content that has been taught in class, they're unable to do so because they have not mastered the curriculum or the content within the curriculum. But if you uncover, you are now able to dig deep, and the students will be able to master whatever it is that is going to come at them as it relates to the lesson, as it relates to what links the lesson for or integrates the lesson. They'll be able to master that. Covering does not promote learning, and it does not unleash the learner. It just allows the learner to sit and be passive. And here is a perfect example of what does covering looks like. Students are just sitting, they're bored, they're reading, there's not much integration going on or interaction. All right, that's what covering looks like. Now we're getting to the meat of the matter. So you have learned about uncovering and covering, what entails in the uncovering of the curriculum and what entails in covering the curriculum. So we're now going to look at what you should do, effective ways to help you to uncover the curriculum, to make the learning fun and exciting and engaging for the students. 1. When writing, revising, and evaluating curriculum, make it a team effort. It cannot be that it's only the English teachers that sit and plan the curriculum. You should be integrating the science teacher, the math teacher, right, the social studies teacher, because they will all play a part in what you are doing. You'll be able to link the information across. Integration of subjects will become key when doing such. The second approach that you want to do when you're uncovering the curriculum is to develop long range plans that are comprehensive enough to ensure the curricular needs are met but flexible enough to support student learners. So you want to ensure, colleagues, that when you're planning the curriculum, when you're going to uncover it, that it is comprehensive. It is not a wishy-washy approach. It has depth, right? And then when it has depth and it's able to meet the demands of the learners and meet what is happening, it is also flexible enough to support their learning. So if you should go in and you start teaching and you realize that they don't have the foundation, is there room in your curriculum to underpin some concepts, to allow them to go back and to dig and to build the foundation and to then come back to what is it that you want them to grasp or learn, right? Good. The third one is that you want to make assessments awesome. You want to develop formative, authentic, comprehensive, real world assessments to evaluate student learning. Why do you need to do this? Because assessment should not be just about paper and pen. Assessment rather should be about helping the students to uncover what they have learned, to demonstrate depth, to demonstrate understanding, to demonstrate mastery. And so these assessments should be done in different ways. They should be role playing. You could have individual tests, there could be group tests, orals, different things that can be done to help the students to solidify the concepts in an integrated fashion and also an interactive fashion. Be sure self and peer evaluation components are included. It cannot be that you're teaching your students and when you get to assessment, they're only about what they have learned. Let them do some self-evaluation, let them do some peer evaluation to see what is it that they have grasped and what is it that they have learned. Finally, you want to stay afloat. Consider the big picture. Utilize collaboration, problem solving, and critical thinking skills. And you also want to model for children or students that the process of true learning is never ending, it is reflective and powerful. So you want to be creative in whatever you are doing with your students as you uncover the curriculum. I trust educators that as you have listened in, you have read the slides, and you would have taken a position as to what is it that I want to do for my students as they come back to me face to face, as they sit in the classroom, as we interact. Do I want to cover the curriculum by throwing something over it and covering it, hiding it from the students, or do I want to take off the mask? Do I want to take down the covering that's there over it and help them to dig deeper and to see what is there, to help them to form their opinions and their judgment and use their experiences to help them to be better students? As you go out this week, educators, and you uncover the curriculum for your students, as you go out and make learning fun and exciting and assessment engaging and interactive and awesome, I trust that as you do so, you'll remember that the ultimate goal is to help our students to be reflective in their learning approach, to take responsibility for their learning, and for you to be the facilitator of learning. I am Karla Boswell-Lewis, Director for Strategic Educational Consultancy Services, where my only mission is to empower you, our educators. Walk good, all the best. Take care.